Hey everybody, welcome to unit number 2. So you made it, right? And just a little bit of quick housekeeping here. Just a reminder that when you want to start moving through the unit here, make sure that you follow the instruction at the top there like you did for unit 1. You have to click on every item in order, so you at least got to look at them and open them up there so you can move forward. So don't forget to do that so you don't feel like you're locked out of anything, because everything's open there, so nothing's being hidden or blocked from you there. Also, definitely remember also that due dates are posted along with every sort of assignment there. You'll see them listed there, like for the first discussion here in Chapter 3, it says June 30th there, so it's all listed there for you. So check that out. And also remember, as I sent out in an announcement recently, that you can always click on the syllabus link in the Canvas course menu, or the calendar link in the main Canvas menu there. Just go ahead and click on either one of those and you'll see a listing of all the assignments along with their respective due dates there, so you can kind of do a one-stop shopping there, just in case you want to get the long view of what's coming up and when is everything due. It might allow you to plan things a little bit better, especially in this accelerated 6-week course like this. So you always got to keep up with things, and it's a great way to just get a real quick check on what's coming up and when it's going to be due. And also in this part of the course here, in this unit, your first part of your literature review paper is going to be due. So make sure that you're following along with that. So it's going to be due towards the time that your exam is going to be due in this second unit here. So just a heads up about that. You'll be getting announcements about that from Canvas. And remember, all the instructions that you need are found in the APA Literature Review module, that's there on Canvas. So you'll find all the instructions, all the information that you need, including a helpful completed sample that will really, you can use as a model to fashion your own submission after there, okay? So definitely check that out. Now, what are we actually going to cover in this unit here, Unit 2, which covers 3 chapters this time, chapters 3, 4, and 5. Well, a lot of what's here is classic social psychology. And this first chapter we're going to cover here, chapter 3 on the social self, well, you're going to learn a lot about the self here, and trust me, by the time it's done, you probably won't see yourself the same way, and also probably those around you as well. There's a lot of more than meets the eye action when it comes to the self, and you're also going to learn that the self is really full of nuances and caveats, and it's pretty complex, actually. And really, one of the takeaways you're going to have, I hope, by the time the chapter is over, is that, you know what, we're all complicated, and you are everyone around you, and that's not an insult to say that you're complicated, because sometimes people like to do that and say if you're complicated like it's a bad thing, but it's pretty much a fact. We all are, and you're going to see a lot of that in that chapter there. The next chapter here, chapter 4, you can see social cognition. Well, here you're going to learn about the unique nature of social information. That is, you're going to learn about how when you think about people, including yourself, well, that's a bit different than thinking about things like cars and television shows and music and your pets, etc. There, the weather. There's some real unique properties about social information you're going to see. And one of the things you're really going to get a lot of in this chapter 4 on social cognition is that we make a lot of mistakes in our thinking. So errors just go with the territory, that we just get things wrong. And hopefully you won't feel too bad about yourself there with that, because this is actually really common. We all do this. We all think incorrectly from time to time, and it's just kind of something that we do. And the takeaway you're going to have here, hopefully from chapter 4, is that you'll be better at thinking about your own thinking. Okay? Because that's something that we can do, and we've always known we can do that. We can think about our own thinking, but you're probably going to have a better appreciation for that and how you need to actually be more on top of that, at least in certain situations, or you're going to make mistakes when you're trying to make decisions or solve problems, especially as you're going to see. There's some really great examples that we're going to go over in our chapter there, so I hope you like those. Now, the last chapter in this section here, chapter 5, is on social attribution. This is all about how we explain behavior, whether it's your own behavior or more commonly the behavior of those around you. And you're going to find that a lot of this information you already, quote, know. That is how we come up with explanations of behavior. But what you are going to learn is a lot of jargon. There's a lot of names for these activities in explaining behavior. And don't be put off by that jargon. We have to call those explanations something and those definitions something. But you already know a lot of this stuff. And you're hopefully going to get that sense as I start explaining these, and especially as I go through examples, as well as your textbook authors there too. But what's intriguing here you're going to find is, like, are you always conscious of what you're doing when you're explaining behavior? That is, truth be known, do you really admit to yourself of what you're up to when you explain or make sense of your own behavior, and also when you explain and make sense of people around you? You know, here, if you're like me, when I first learned this stuff years ago, you're going to find a lot of that eye-opening. And you know what? It's not always flattering, you know, to admit how we explain our own behavior and how we explain the behavior of others around us. And so most of us, and hopefully you too, will experience this chapter as kind of a wake-up call there. But there is a bonus here. And this is the takeaway from this chapter here, I hope, is that you'll learn, believe it or not, you'll learn how to be a more compassionate person. You know, trust me, this isn't just lip service here. By the time this chapter is over, hopefully you have absorbed its lessons, and you're going to find out that, you know, there's some real practical application, and one of those applications is that we can be more understanding of people around us, and hopefully others will be more understanding of us. And if they don't understand us sometimes, and they seem unfair in the way they judge us, well, they're probably doing that for a pretty ordinary kind of reason, as it turns out. We don't have to always like that, but maybe we won't take it so personally because, you know, we're pretty guilty of doing the same thing to those around us too, truth be known. But anyway, you'll get a sense of that as we go through that chapter there. Okay, well, again, just a reminder that you need to click on every item in order, and as you go through this Unit 2 here, you're going to find out it's the same structure as you found in the first unit there. Every chapter opens up with a discussion. Then you're going to have your lecture videos. You can see your lecture outlines. There is a reminder in this unit about the first part of your paper there being due July 7th, so just a heads up about that. You're going to find your homework as usual, the quiz based on that homework there. Reminders about your inquisitive assignments being due by 11:59 p.m. the day before your exam opens up. You'll see the link to your inquisitive chapter there that you need. Then you just go to the next chapter and repeat, right? And so I'm not going to make you jump the tracks here and learn a whole new way to, you know, work your way through a unit. It's always going to be the same structure. I like to have things consistent, and I'm sure you do too. It makes things easier to kind of know what's going on in your course there. So just follow through like you did in the first unit. You shouldn't have any problem. When you get towards the end, you'll see the conclusion. Your study guide will be there. Your unit exam will be there. You'll get announcements from Canvas reminding you about all that stuff there, so no worries about that. So always do check your announcements so you're always up to date on anything that might happen. And if you are able to, do try to attend the weekly live sessions there. Again, they're not required, but I put them out there for you just so you can have a chance to interact with me or your other classmates if you'd like to. Get a chance to see each other that way too sometimes, and answer any questions that you might have. If you can't make it, remember those meetings are going to be recorded and posted. Just find that announcement that I posted about that. It's pretty easy to access a recorded meeting there, so feel free to do that there just to kind of catch up. And the subsequent live session recordings I doubt will be as long. The first one was a bit long there, over an hour, because I did have to go over the syllabus and go take everybody on a tour of the Canvas course page for the first time. But in the future, I'll just be mentioning this is what's coming up in the current unit, or for that week there at least, and any questions that anybody might have. Okay? So you're good to go for Unit 2 there. So take care. You got any questions? You know how to get a hold of me. Just shoot me an email. Otherwise, good luck with your assignments, and I'll see you again in the course.